Hello and welcome to Life with Tracy podcast. Today I have the pleasure to speak with Laci Blake, a psychology-based branding expert. She helps business owners and entrepreneurs position their brand to attract their dream clients. I am so interested in what she has to say, and so let's get the show started. Welcome, Laci. Thank you so much for coming on my show. So, what is life with Laci right now?
Hey, thanks for having me. So, right now I'm got a few things in the work. I actually just rebranded my business, and so I'm rolling out a few new programs under the business name of the Billion Dollar Brand, and I'm super excited about that. So that's what I've got in the works right now. And full transparency, I'm not going to be one of those people who is like, okay, yesterday I was in rags and today, like, poof, magically, I'm a billionaire. That's not what the Billion Dollar Brand is about. The Billion Dollar Brand is encompassing the energy of living a billion dollar life. And I am still working a 9 to 5 job. I am not a billionaire. So my goal is to help people up level their lives and businesses with the right branding that psychologically attracts their ideal client, and helping people to applied psychology principles in their own lives to better their communication and to better themselves. So it's heavily focused on self development, really, and just taking your overall life to the next level, whether that be your business or whether that be your own personal life. I'm excited because I was doing business coaching already, but I just rolled out life coaching. So I'm really excited about that. And I recently got certified as an NLP practitioner. And so I've added that as one of the modalities to my life coaching program so that I can better help people take their lives to the next level and really reach the optimum level of success that they're looking for in their lives.
I absolutely love that. And I have never heard of like branding using psychology. How interesting is that?
It is actually really interesting, and I got into it at a really young age. I started with drawing. Um, and painting when I was really, really young in elementary school. And I grew up in a really dysfunctional household with an alcoholic parent. And so what I did is I kind of withdrew and became somewhat of an introvert. And my outlet was really the creative outlets of drawing and painting or reading and just creating. And so by the time I was in middle school, I was interested in things like joining the yearbook, taking pictures, and creating those layouts on yearbook pages, and working in the very, very early version of Photoshop, and like manipulating the photos to make it look cool, adding stuff into the photos that wasn't necessarily there. And then by the time I was in high school, I was having other kids ask me to make party flyers. I was the party flyer girl. Um, I also had the football players and the basketball players' parents pay me to make highlight reels. I no longer do any of the video stuff, but at that time it was a passion for me because it was aligned with the multimedia creative stuff, and it gave me the opportunity to escape from the dysfunctional household and to just kind of be in my own little shell. And now today I'm just downright passionate about helping people. And that's how I can do it because that's what I'm good at.
I love that. I'm all about serving people and helping people and hustling. You mentioned 9 to 5 job. I have a 8 to 8 job. I love that you're pointing out now that it's okay to like go after your dreams and still have a job, because a lot of people have the idea of like you're working online and you're living this lifestyle. No, we still got jobs.
Absolutely. And it's okay to have a job. And just because you still are in your 9 to 5 job doesn't mean that you're not successful in what you do outside of that 9 to 5 job, and doesn't mean that you're not successful in your business. Everybody needs a certain level of stability. And once your business reaches a certain level, you may not need the 9 to 5 job anymore. But when you're in the 9 to 5 job still, it doesn't make your services or you as a business owner any less valuable.
Not at all. I think even better because you got like that backup. But
Right.
okay, so branding. Mine is all over the place. So how does one just even start like picking out the colors and font and everything else that had to do with branding?
Well, you start by reaching out to someone like me.
Of course.
No, but in all honesty, I would say do a little bit of research on color psychology, because that'll help you. Also, make sure that what you're presenting is in line with your industry. If you are a like let's say you have a psychiatrist office, right? And you want your logo and your colors to be something that's going to make your clients or patients or potential patients feel warm, welcome, calm. Why do people show up to psychiatrist's office? It's because they have some source of angst, right? So you don't want colors that are going to agitate them. Like, why are you going to put red in your logo if you have a psychiatrist's office, right? That red creates a sense of urgency, angst, anxiety, a little bit of anger. So you don't want to inflame your audience or your potential patients if you're looking to make them feel warm, comforted, and safe. Red's not a safe color for a psychiatrist to brand themselves as.
Not at all.
So it's the little things like that that a lot of people don't pay attention to. I actually once worked with a psychiatrist who wanted to add like a shade of maroon in his logo, and I just told him like that's triggering. Um, and he was like, "Oh yeah, but these colors are two of my favorite colors." I'm like, "Dude, do you want to do business or not? Are you looking to be successful or not? Are you looking to attract the right people or are you not? Because you might have somebody come in here who's angry, but they're likely they're attracted to this area because they want to be angry. They don't want to get better. So you got to attract who you want to bring in the door."
Okay. I love that. And yeah, somebody to feel welcoming. And so what service do you offer?
So I offer full scale brand identity. I have two separate packages. One package is just the brand identity, and the second package includes an entire website and setup of your back office. So
Okay.
it's the brand identity plus the website add-ons. But both packages are great. Most often, if someone already has a website, then they're like, "Oh, okay, let's just go with a brand identity." But I will say they go hand in hand, because once you establish your complete brand identity, you'll want to use what you've established and make sure that your website is aligned with what you established. So I always kind of lean towards offering my clients the full package so that we can make sure that their brand is consistent throughout. And then I also
Awesome.
offer my coaching. So my coaching is a 6 months program, whether it's business coaching or life coaching. Both are 6 month programs, and it's one-on-one coaching programs. So it's a personal service, and we get to know each other really well, and we kind of just dive deeper into the things that are really holding that person back from going to the next level or taking the next step. And we address those things at the core. We reframe how we feel about things, because most often the things that are holding us back aren't the reason why we can't move forward. It's how we think about them and how we feel about them is the reason why we can't move forward, how we perceive them. So once we change our perception about the thing that's holding us back, or the things that are holding us back, then we can really move forward and move past it. Not that this thing is ever going to go away, but perception often is reality, especially for us human beings. We get so in our heads. The human condition is so complex, and we overthink everything. We make mountains out of molehills, and once we create that mountain, how are we ever going to climb over it? Because it is substantial, and not all of us are able to climb Mount Everest. So we have to reframe and turn that mountain into the molehill that it's supposed to be, so that we can hop right over it.
Girl, preach. I am Latina. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I love novelas, which is soap operas. Girl, the novelas in my head are like, oh my God, all the drama, all the things. And I'm like, it was not like that, like being a drama queen. And then the imposter syndrome
Right. Just
too, because when you're like putting yourself out there, you're like, what? Like my last interview, she said like I was the first person that she said yes to a podcast, and she has like a bunch of followers on TikTok. And the second she said it, I was like, oh, who am I? Oh no, do you want to do another podcast? And then you come back to the
no, see,
surface. So it's like all the limiting beliefs.
exactly. And at that point, you have to transition from who am I to I am somebody. Because there's your evidence, there's your proof. You've got this gal online who's got a shit ton of followers, and she wants to do a podcast interview with you. And it's not who are you, it's she was attracted to you because she thought you were somebody. And when we think about how we connect with other people, the reason why we're attracted to other people is because we see something in them that exists within ourselves.
Nice. So how do we pick the ideal client?
So you don't pick the ideal client, the ideal client picks you.
Love that. Makes sense.
And that's really what it's about. It's about putting that energy behind your brand and out into the world, so that who you're looking to attract finds you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't look for people. People actually come to me.
Right. I mean, if we're constantly on the hunt for clients, we are in a psychological space of desperation.
Yeah.
And that energy can be felt. And the desperation energy is repelling. So anybody who is not desperate themselves is not going to want to connect with you if you're coming from a space of desperation. And other people who are in that same space of desperation and need are takers. And all they want, those are the ones who are going to come to you wanting a discount. Those are the ones that are going to come to you wanting to pick your brain for free. Those are the ones that are going to be professional time wasters and a pain in your butt.
Yeah, I can see that. I love this, girl. So, anything else that like you where they can find you on social media? What do you offer?
Yeah, of course. So beyond the my branding packages and the coaching, those are my two main offerings right now. I do have a freebie,
Ooh,
SEO
yeah.
an SEO cheat sheet. So I can send you the link to the SEO cheat sheet that you can share with your listeners and your followers. I can also be found at my website at thebillionDollarBrand.com, and it's THA billionDollarBrand.com.
I
And
love that. Not a lot of women talk about the $1 billion. Like even $1 million is uncomfortable, and you're out here like throwing the B word, girl.
yeah, well, because a billion isn't a monetary amount, it's a mindset. So if you have a $1 billion mindset, you can live a $1 billion life even if your bank account doesn't have $1 billion in it.
I love that.
And maybe your bank account does have $1 billion in it.
Oh my God, I love that because that's me. Like when it's payday, I think I'm a billionaire girl.
Hell yeah,
Like the
Amazon Prime
same
Day
day
had me.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And any of the links and everything is going to be in the description of the episode. I don't know. I'm so excited. I
Girl,
was listening.
I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram as well. At the $1 Billion Brand Coach, THA. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/the $1 Billion Brand Coach. I have a Facebook group called the $1 Billion Brand. I invite anyone who's looking to uplevel their life, get insights, network, and just have fun to come and join me.
Oh, I love that. I will be talking about you and telling everybody about you because they need to go and check you out, especially if they're struggling with their brand. Shoot, I'm hiring you because I picked my logo and that was because my friend did it for me. But when it comes to colors, the fun, and having anything like out there that says it's me, that's what I'm struggling with. But it's little by little. The podcast is 7 months in the making.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, you're a veteran by now.
we have much because I got like almost 70 episodes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how did that even happen? Time just flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, and I mean, podcasting is super fun. You just kind of get to get on and be you. I know when I launched my podcast, I pre-recorded close to 30 like on-air brand audits. And that's kind of what launched my podcast was the brand audits. And in between, I have episodes where I give tips, tricks, insights, and all of that kinds of stuff. But as I was telling you a little bit earlier before we started recording, I'm in the process of rebranding my podcast, which is currently psychology based branding with Laci, but I'm going to rebrand it to name it the $1 Billion Brand to be in line with my brand, my brand that is now. So, I mean, that's another thing, just making sure that every aspect of your business is consistent with your brand. So that's what I'm in the process of doing now. I've taken quite a long hiatus from recording, but when I come back out, there's going to be some new things in the work. I'm going to be introducing my new programs and really just coming out strong and hoping to re-engage my following and my listeners.
I love it. And I love that you're talking about rebranding because a huge thing on social media, like people are divided, that you're supposed to pick everything and know everything and stay the same for forever. And you're like,
No.
I have followed people for a long, long time. None of them have started none of them are where they are starting.
Right. Well, first of all, when you first start out, you're on like a shoestring budget, right? So you're trying to figure it out as you go along. And what you originally put in place for your branding might be shit. Let's be honest. It might be really shitty. So at some point you're going to want to up level, you're going to want to grow, and you're going to want to refine your brand. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I think that it is very narrow-minded and very closed and not open. When you think about the mind, you have two different people. You have the person who is willing to enter into an expanded mind space to consider all perspectives. And then you have the person who's not willing to enter that open, fluid mind headspace, and they only consider their own perspective, and things can only be true as according to them. So that's a very, I'm pretty sure you have people like that in your life, right? So growing up, that person for me was my mom. It was like her interpretation of the Bible was the interpretation of the Bible. And, you know, her interpretation of right and wrong was the truth about right and wrong. There was no deviation. And, you know, there was even an incident in my teenage years where she found thong underwear in my sister's drawer. And she went on to call them Satan panties. Are thong underwear of the devil? No, they're not. They just, their purpose is to hide your panty line, right? So that is not of the devil line to not of the devil to not want a panty line. But that was her perspective, and she wasn't willing to consider any other perspective. And so when you encounter those types of people, you just have to throw them back there. And then proceed with whatever you're going to do, because you know that you've considered all perspectives, and after considering all perspectives, you think that XYZ is the best way to move forward. So just move forward and put the naysayers to the side.
Girl, I did that at 15. I left everything and everybody, okay? I was like, you guys are something else. You say you're a mom. I said my whole family, and I have 3 sides of the family. I have my mom's side, which I love them to death, but they're the type that hit you with the Bible, like you have to believe. But there's a lot of people, so there's a lot of religions there, and all of them are right. And then my dad's side of the family, which he took me when I was 1, and then my biological side of the family, that is like, woo, crazy. So at 15 years old, I was like, I know better than everybody. And I just left Puerto Rico and came, to do my own thing.
Wow.
Because of people not having their own perspective. So sorry, I was a little bit triggered on that one.
Well, I think learning and growing is part of the process. And if you are not able to pivot and go in a different direction when you see that it would be advantageous for you to do so, you limit your own growth.
I love that. And I can see that because I started with the podcast, but I have so many ideas in my head. It's not even funny. I'm just putting stuff out there right now because I work 12 to 14 hours a day. So my social media and everything is all over the place, like my life. But I do have a purpose with everything that I do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are strategies that you can utilize to remain consistent, even in a busy, hectic world. So, it's just about tapping into those strategies and tapping into yourself to bring out what really was in there all along.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming into my show. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure gonna talk to you more.
Yeah, of course. Feel free to hit me up, and I look forward to joining your group, and I hope you join mine.
Oh, girl, I need all the links to everything because, like I said, I'm a fan of the podcast, so I can't wait for the podcast to come back so I can keep listening and learning. Because I did learn, because I love it just from day one. And I checked out your website, and I definitely need to hire you. There's no doubt about it.
So my new website, I actually just finished up. It is thebillionDollarBrand.com. So you probably did you look at thebillionDollarBrand.com, or did you go to LaciConsults.com?
I think it was Laci's. This is whatever you got on Facebook.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave Laci Consults active for a good while. But everything, all of the links now are redirecting to the billiondollarbrand.com. My Laci Consults website, it just gets so many Google hits. So I think I'm gonna just leave it active for at least a year, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I can definitely get you the link to my new website because I am so proud of it. I love it.
It is a huge accomplishment. I don't care what it is that you do on social media, that anything that is creative, you did it, you put all the energy. Like I always say on the podcast, like a million times, it's me, myself, and I.
Right.
So I am the podcast manager, the marketer, whatever. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I know that there's a title for everything that I'm doing.
Right. Well, the thing is, you don't have to know what you're doing. You just know that you're steering the ship, girl.
I'm doing something.
Yeah, and it really everything that you do is a testament to who you are. And when you put it out there, you're really stepping outside of your comfort zone and you're trying to make things happen for yourself. So that's commendable. And I know for me personally, my website is a direct reflection of the type of work that I can create for other people. And that's really what it's about, creating for other people.
Yeah, I love that. Because there's a lot of people that have ideas like me, but they're stopping it because of the technology, which is it was why I talked about having a podcast for 2 years before I hit record because of all the technology behind it that I had to learn and whatever. And now I have stuff that I want to launch, but because I don't have a website, I haven't done it. So it's
Okay,
like
girl.
little things like that that is like stopping me from being a billionaire too.
Well, we need to get you a website. So we'll talk offline. And it was a pleasure speaking with you. And I'm sure we'll speak more in the future.
Well, thank you so much for listening to another episode. Hope you enjoy as much as I did. Her website and everything that we talked about is going to be in the description of the episode. If you need help with branding, Laci is definitely your girl. So reach out to her. Thank you, Laci, again for coming on the show.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Hope everybody have a blessed day.